Have you ever sat down to work on something important, maybe that project that could change your career, and found yourself reaching for your phone instead? You tell yourself you'll just check it for a minute, just one quick look at your messages, maybe scroll through social media for a second, and then, somehow, an hour has vanished. The important work? Still sitting there, untouched. And now it feels even harder to start. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not broken. Your brain is actually working exactly as it was designed to. The problem is, the world we live in today has learned to exploit how your brain works, and that's costing you your focus, your productivity, and, honestly, your happiness. Today, I'm going to walk you through the ideas in Thibaut Meurisse's book, Dopamine Detox. This isn't just another productivity book telling you to work harder or wake up earlier. This is about understanding what's actually happening in your brain when you can't seem to focus, and more importantly, what you can do about it. We're going to explore why you keep getting distracted, why important tasks feel so hard to start, and how you can train your brain to actually enjoy doing difficult work. We'll talk about dopamine, that famous brain chemical everyone mentions but few people really understand. And I'm going to give you a practical, step-by-step method you can use starting today to reclaim your focus and finally make progress on the things that matter most to you. So if you're ready to understand why you procrastinate and how to stop, let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is dopamine? You've probably heard dopamine called the pleasure chemical or the happiness molecule. But here's the thing, that's not quite right. And understanding what dopamine actually does is the key to understanding why you can't put your phone down, why you keep watching just one more video, and why that important task sitting on your desk feels so impossibly hard to start. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter. Think of it as a chemical messenger in your brain, but instead of making you feel pleasure, dopamine makes you anticipate rewards. It's what makes you want things. It's the force that pushes you to take action to get something you expect will be good for you. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're scrolling through social media and you see a notification pop up. Before you even click on it, your brain releases dopamine. Why? Because you're anticipating a reward. Maybe it's a message from a friend. Maybe someone liked your post. Maybe there's exciting news waiting for you. That anticipation, that wanting, that's dopamine doing its job. Now here's the really important part. Dopamine evolved to help us survive. Back when our ancestors were hunting for food, dopamine gave them the motivation to go out and find their next meal. When they spotted a fruit tree or tracked an animal, dopamine flooded their system, giving them the drive to take action. Without dopamine, they wouldn't have bothered. They would have just sat in their cave and starved. So, dopamine is incredibly useful. It's probably one of the main reasons you and I exist today, because our ancestors had this powerful drive to seek out what they needed to survive and reproduce. But, and this is crucial, dopamine doesn't actually make you happy. Think about it. Have you ever been scrolling through social media, watching videos or shopping online, telling yourself you're having fun, but then, when you finally stop, you feel kind of empty, maybe even a bit guilty. You wasted time, but you don't actually feel better. You don't feel fulfilled. That's because dopamine creates wanting, not liking. The anticipation feels good, but the actual reward? It rarely lives up to the hype. And as soon as you get what you wanted, the feeling fades. So what do? You seek more stimulation, another notification, another video, another hit of dopamine. This is how the cycle works. You're constantly chasing, but never truly satisfied. You always want more, but nothing seems to fill that hole. Now look at your own life for a moment. What are you addicted to? What do you crave? Maybe it's checking your email constantly. Maybe it's social media. Maybe it's video games or YouTube videos or online shopping. Whatever it is, notice how it makes you feel. Does it actually make you happy? Or does it just make you want more? When you're in this state of constant stimulation, trying to focus on something difficult becomes nearly impossible. Your brain is buzzing with anticipation, looking for the next hit. And compared to that excitement, writing a report or working on a business plan or studying for an exam feels incredibly boring. So you procrastinate. You delay the important work. You tell yourself you'll do it later, after just one more quick distraction. But later never comes. Or when it does, you're even more stimulated, and the work feels even harder. From an evolutionary perspective, dopamine's role was simple and useful. Push you to seek rewards needed for survival. But in today's world, this system has been hijacked, and that hijacking is causing serious problems in your life, whether you realize it or not. So let's talk about how your dopamine system is being exploited. Because once you understand this, you'll start seeing it everywhere, and you'll understand why focus has become such a rare and valuable skill. First, think of dopamine as the molecule of more. The more your environment triggers dopamine release, the more you'll crave your next hit. This creates a self-reinforcing cycle, and this is exactly how addiction works. When someone becomes addicted to drugs or alcohol, they're not just enjoying the substance, they're strengthening their tolerance to it. They need stronger and stronger doses to get the same feeling. Their dopamine system has been hijacked. But addiction isn't limited to substances. You can become addicted to all sorts of behaviors: gambling, shopping, sex, even your own thoughts and rumination. And yes, you can absolutely become addicted to your phone, social media, video games, and the internet in general. Here's a simple test. Can you go an entire day without engaging in a certain activity? If you can't stay away from something for just 24 hours, you're probably a bit addicted to it. Now let's talk about how companies have learned to exploit your dopamine system. Your attention is valuable. In fact, it's one of the most valuable commodities in the modern economy. This is why marketers spend billions of dollars trying to capture it. Social media companies like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube have figured out that the longer you stay on their platforms, the more money they make through advertising. So they've designed their apps to be as addictive as possible. They hire teams of psychologists and neuroscientists to study how to keep you hooked. One of their greatest discoveries? Notifications. Those little red dots and badges that pop up on your screen. Think about it. How many times have you opened an app just because you saw a notification? And once you opened it, how long did you stay? Probably much longer than you intended. These companies have developed incredibly sophisticated algorithms to keep you engaged. Amazon's recommendation system knows what books you'll want to read better than any human bookstore employee ever could. YouTube's suggestions are scarily accurate. Watch one video about basketball, and suddenly your entire feed is filled with basketball content. Facebook's newsfeed algorithm is designed to show you exactly the kind of content that will keep you scrolling. On one hand, this is convenient. You discover content you actually want to see. But on the other hand, it creates a never-ending loop. Instead of you using the internet as a tool to find information or connect with people, the internet is using you. It's hijacking your attention, making you unproductive, and leaving you feeling restless and unfulfilled. Let me give you some specific examples of how your dopamine system is being hijacked every single day. When you check your email, you're anticipating a reward. Maybe there's a message from a friend, or exciting news, or an opportunity. The uncertainty makes it even more exciting. You never know what might be waiting. So you check, and check again, and again.
When you look at your investment portfolio or website traffic stats, you're hoping to see good numbers. The unpredictability makes it addictive. Will your stocks be up or down? Will more people have visited your site? When you open YouTube, you're expecting to watch interesting or entertaining videos. The platform is designed to make sure there's always something appealing just one click away. When you visit social media, you're anticipating likes on your posts, comments from friends, messages, or just interesting content to scroll through. Every single one of these activities triggers dopamine release, not because they actually make you happy, but because you anticipate they might give you something rewarding. And that anticipation is enough to keep you coming back, over and over, even when you know you're wasting time. Now let's talk about food for a moment. because this is another area where your dopamine system gets hijacked. Our ancestors were driven to find food by hunger and the anticipation of a satisfying meal. The foods that gave the most pleasure were high in calories, nutrients, and often contained sugar, exactly what they needed to survive in a world where food was scarce. According to researchers, our craving for sweet foods is built into our biology. Sugar triggers dopamine release and makes us feel good. Studies have shown that the combination of sugar and fat is especially powerful at activating the brain's reward system. But here's the problem. We don't live in that world anymore. Most of us have easy access to as much food as we want. We don't need to hunt or gather. We just drive to the supermarket. But our biology hasn't changed. Our brains still light up with dopamine when we see sugary, fatty foods. And the food industry knows this. They spend millions of dollars adding sugar to processed foods, not just to make them taste better, but to make you crave more. If you look at the ingredients in almost any processed food, you'll find sugar in there, even in things that don't taste particularly sweet. Now, I should mention that sugar probably isn't as addictive as hard drugs like cocaine or heroin, despite what some dramatic headlines claim. But it does create cravings, and it does make you want more. And reducing your dependence on sugar is probably a good idea if you want to feel more in control. Here's another huge problem with constant dopamine stimulation. It destroys your ability to think long-term. Studies have shown that one of the best predictors of success is the ability to focus on long-term goals. People who regularly think about where they want to be in the future make better decisions today. They eat healthier, work harder, save more money, and generally achieve more in life. After extensive research, Dr. Edward Banfield of Harvard concluded that long-term perspective was the most important factor in financial and personal success. He defined it as the ability to think several years into the future while making decisions in the present. But focusing on long-term goals is incredibly difficult in today's world. Everything around you is pushing you towards short-term thinking and immediate gratification. You know you should eat healthy, but you binge on sweets anyway. You know you should study, but you watch Netflix instead. You know you should exercise, but you'd rather chat with friends on social media. The internet and social media have seriously damaged our ability to think long-term and focus deeply. It's no accident that Steve Jobs, the CEO of Apple, didn't let his own children use phones or tablets, even though his entire business was selling millions of them.
Chamath Palihapitiya, a billionaire investor and former Facebook executive, has argued that we need to rewire our brains to focus on the long term. And he says it starts by removing social media apps from our phones. These apps, he explains, wire your brain for super fast feedback. When you get constant feedback, likes, comments, instant replies, you train yourself to expect fast results with everything you do. This is reinforced by get-rich-quick schemes and by only hearing about the most successful people, not the thousands who failed. As you become more addicted to stimulation, your focus shifts to the short term. You start believing success should come quickly and easily. You think you shouldn't have to work hard to lose weight or make money. This distorts your view of reality. You might feel jealous of people who seem to have achieved overnight success. You might resent successful YouTubers or influencers. Worse, you might feel inadequate, like you're not good enough, smart enough, or disciplined enough. So you feel pressure to hustle harder, to hurry before you miss an opportunity, to find the secret formula for success. But here's what you're missing in all that frenzy: patience. Watching motivational videos all day won't help you reach your goals, but taking consistent daily actions over a long period of time will. Staying calm and focusing on one task at a time will get you there. Let me give you a perfect example. Amazon was founded in 1994, but didn't turn a profit until 2003. That's 9 years. In 2002, the company lost $149 million. The next year, it made $35 million in profit. Jeff Bezos could probably have made profits earlier, but he chose to reinvest everything into building strong foundations that would allow Amazon to survive for decades. And look where that strategy led. You need to do the same in your personal and professional life. Build your foundations one brick at a time. Build them strong so they won't collapse at the first obstacle. Focus on the long term.
Develop patience and consistency. And to do that, you need to eliminate the distractions that make you feel restless. You need to remove the constant stimulation that prevents you from seeing the bigger picture. Here's the bottom line. Modern society is designed to hijack your dopamine system, and it's not designed for your benefit. It's designed to empty your wallet as effectively as possible. More importantly, it's destroying your ability to focus, making you feel restless and often bad about yourself. When you're overstimulated, you can't do the difficult things that would actually improve your life and the lives of people around you. And that's what we need to fix.
Let's talk about what happens when you're overstimulated, because this is the real heart of the procrastination problem. There are lots of reasons people procrastinate. Fear of failure, perfectionism, not knowing where to start. But the most important reason, and the one that's most often overlooked, is overstimulation. Here's what I mean. When you're calm and focused, doing your main work can actually be surprisingly easy. You might even feel excited about it. You look forward to making progress on your goals each day. But how often do you actually feel calm and focused? Probably not very often. Instead, you're rushing through your day, jumping from one task to another. You're running in circles like a hamster on a wheel, but you never seem to actually complete anything important. You let interruptions destroy your focus. You waste hours checking email, scrolling social media, or watching educational videos. And it often starts first thing in the morning. You wake up and immediately grab your phone. You check your messages, then your email. Then you decide to visit social media just for a few minutes. By this point, notifications, likes, and messages have already flooded your system with dopamine. You're overstimulated. Now you're ready to work, right? But what actually happens when you sit down at your desk to tackle an important project? Does the work flow easily? Or do you suddenly feel like doing anything but working? Maybe you tell yourself you can do that task later. Maybe you suddenly need another cup of coffee. Maybe you just remembered an email you need to answer. The work can wait, or so you think. So you're back in the hamster wheel, getting more and more stimulated. This can go on for hours or even days. Does this sound familiar? Here's the problem. When you're engaging in highly stimulating activities, your brain keeps demanding more stimulation. As your stimulation level rises, regular tasks start to seem incredibly dull and unappealing. You think to yourself, why would I work on my book, or write a report, or create a marketing plan when I could be doing something way more exciting? The gap between your current high level of stimulation and the lower level needed to tackle difficult work is what causes you to procrastinate. Picture it like this. You're on a different wavelength. You're vibrating at a high frequency, and your important work requires you to be at a lower, calmer frequency. There's no overlap between where you are and where you need to be. As a writer, Thibaut Meurisse explains, his most important task is obviously to write. But as soon as he starts checking social media, watching YouTube, or looking at his sales figures, he gets pulled into a whirlpool of distractions. As his stimulation level increases, writing becomes one of the most unappealing and challenging tasks he can imagine. The same thing happens to you with your important work. When you're overstimulated, even tasks you normally enjoy start to feel boring and difficult. Now, your mind will play tricks on you to keep you in this overstimulated state. Let me share 4 common tricks so you can recognize them when they happen. Trick number 1. Your mind tells you returning to work will be easy. Your mind will convince you that you can start working whenever you want, that you're in control. But this isn't true. Once you're overstimulated, you probably won't be able to get back to work for hours. You might even postpone your important tasks until the next day, or the next week, or forever. The author can't count how many times he's told himself he'll start writing later. It never happens. So if you catch yourself thinking you're in control and can return to work whenever you want, be very careful. You're probably fooling yourself. Trick number 2. Your mind tells you that you can do it later. Your mind will convince you that there's plenty of time in the afternoon, or tomorrow, or next week, or next month. But if you don't fight back, Putting things off becomes a habit, and 5 years from now, you'll be angry at yourself for accomplishing so little. Trick number 3. Your mind confuses excitement with fulfillment. When you're caught up in stimulating activities, your mind tells you how much fun you're having. It says you should do more of this. Don't worry about anything else, just enjoy yourself. But excitement isn't the same as fulfillment. Once your stimulation level returns to normal, ask yourself, how much did I actually benefit from watching those videos or scrolling through social media? Was that time spent in a meaningful way? Did it enhance the quality of my life? The answer is usually no. Excitement can be fun, but it doesn't bring lasting satisfaction. What brings fulfillment is developing inner peace and the ability to focus deeply. That's what will make you happy in the long run. Trick number 4. Your mind tells you you're missing out. Checking email or news every 30 minutes gives you the illusion of control. You don't want to miss an urgent message or breaking news, right? But do you really need to reply to emails immediately? Do you actually have to check the news constantly? This thinking comes from the fear of missing out. It's based on a scarcity mindset, the belief that opportunities are limited and you might miss your chance if you're not constantly plugged in. But opportunities are everywhere. There will always be more in the future. So if you miss a news story, can't attend a particular event, or don't watch a YouTuber's latest video, it's okay. You're not missing out on anything truly important. The author rarely reads the news and almost never answers his phone unless he knows who's calling. He doesn't worry about missing events because he knows there will always be more opportunities in the future. What about you? Do you experience the fear of missing out? As you go through your day, notice when you fall into these traps. Awareness is the first step toward change.
So, we've talked about the problem. Now let's talk about the solution. First, let's be clear about what this means. A dopamine detox is simply the process of reducing stimulation to prevent overstimulation and put you in the right state of mind to tackle major tasks. Now, technically speaking, the term dopamine detox isn't scientifically accurate. You're not releasing too much dopamine. What's actually happening is that you need more and more external stimulation for the same amount of dopamine to be released. You've built up a tolerance. A dopamine detox helps reduce that stimulation, allowing you to return to a more natural state. When you need less stimulation to feel satisfied, tasks that seemed challenging, boring, or tedious will suddenly become more appealing and easier to tackle. Meurisse introduces 3 types of dopamine detox. The 48-hour complete dopamine detox. This is the most intense version. You eliminate most or all sources of external stimulation for 48 hours straight. This helps you dramatically reduce your overall stimulation level and return to your natural state. You'll feel much calmer and find it easier to focus on important tasks. For 48 hours, you remove these things from your life: drugs and alcohol, exercise, intense exercise anyway, internet, movies, music, except maybe relaxation music, your phone, social media, sugar and processed foods, video games. You might be wondering, if I eliminate all of that, what am I supposed to do? Great question. Here are some suggestions. Go for contemplative walks, journal, meditate or relax, practice awareness exercises, read, though maybe avoid highly stimulating books, do stretching exercises. This might sound extreme, but consider this. Some people attend 10-day silent meditation retreats called Vipassana, where participants have to maintain complete silence, have no physical contact with anyone, stop all exercise, give up their phones and internet, avoid music, reading, and writing, and refrain from filming or taking pictures. Compared to that, 48 hours doesn't sound so bad, does it? The 24-hour dopamine detox. This is similar to the 48-hour version, but shorter. It's easier to complete, though it's a bit less effective since it can take several days for your stimulation to fully return to natural levels. Still, it's a good starting point if 48 hours feels too overwhelming. The partial dopamine detox. This is the least demanding, but can be highly effective when maintained over a longer period. It involves removing your biggest source of stimulation. Usually, one specific activity is your greatest distraction. For the author, it's YouTube.
For you, it might be social media, video games, email, or something else. What's your biggest source of overstimulation? That's what you'll eliminate in a partial detox. Now, each type of detox has benefits. The complete detoxes give you a dramatic reset. They're like hitting the pause button on your life to recalibrate. The partial detox is more sustainable long-term and helps you build better habits. The key is to choose the approach that works for you and that you'll actually follow through on. Now let's get practical. Here's a simple 3-step method to help you perform a successful dopamine detox. The first step is to identify your biggest temptations and distractions. Get a pen and paper or use a digital document. Create 2 columns, cans and can'ts. In the first column, write down all the activities you'll allow yourself during your detox. For example, going for walks, journaling, working on a project, reading books. In the second column, write down everything you must avoid. For example, watching YouTube, checking email, using social media. To help identify these, ask yourself, if I stopped doing only one thing, which activity would increase my focus and boost my productivity the most dramatically? Then ask, what other activities do I need to avoid to significantly increase my focus? Keep asking until you've identified all your major distractions. Once you've completed your list, put it somewhere visible, on your desk or bathroom mirror. It will remind you what to avoid during your detox. Step number 2, add friction. This is a powerful principle. The harder something is to access, the less likely you are to do it. And the easier something is to access, the more likely you are to do it. So you need to redesign your environment. Make undesirable behaviors difficult to engage in, and make desirable behaviors easy to conduct. Look at the habits you want to eliminate and ask yourself how you can add friction. The more friction, the better. For example, if your phone is your biggest distraction, turn off all notifications. Better yet, put it on airplane mode. Even better, turn it off completely and put it in another room. If Facebook is your problem, remove notifications and use browser extensions like Newsfeed Eradicator that block your feed. If you spend hours watching YouTube, install extensions like DFTube that remove all suggestions and notifications. Then only watch videos that serve a specific purpose. Adding friction might sound too simple to work, but it's incredibly effective. As humans, we're fundamentally lazy. We hate wasting energy unless we're forced to. When the author wanted to stop using the internet so much, he put his internet modem in his storage room. To get it back, he would need to leave his apartment, take the elevator down 4 floors, and open multiple doors. That's a lot of friction. And because he spent energy putting the modem there in the first place, his mind resisted going through all that effort to get it back. It would be a waste of energy. The more difficult you make it to engage in unwanted behaviors, the better your results will be. Now do the opposite for behaviors you want to encourage. Make them as frictionless as possible. For example, to make writing easier in the morning, the author avoids checking his phone or email. He leaves his word processor open the night before. He puts on relaxing music and sets a timer for a 45-minute work session. By removing friction and creating a simple routine, he gets his mind's buy-in. It wouldn't make sense to suddenly stop the music, pause the timer, and switch to another activity. His mind would see that as a waste of energy. Your mind is lazy. Use this to your advantage. Look at your can'ts list. Next to each item, write specific ways you could add friction. Then look at your cans list and write down ways to eliminate friction. Step number 3. Start first thing in the morning. The third step is simply to get started, and it's crucial to start first thing in the morning before you become overstimulated. The author has noticed that if he checks his phone or internet right after waking up, he'll probably get distracted for the rest of the day. He recommends creating a morning routine to help you start your day calm and focused. Over the long term, a simple morning routine can make a massive difference in your life. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Does it help you stay calm and focused, or does it lead to overstimulation and procrastination? To establish your morning routine, write down 2 or 3 simple activities you could do each morning. Use these to kickstart your dopamine detox and hopefully maintain them long term. The routine should deepen your focus, not stimulate you. For example, you could meditate, do stretching exercises, listen to relaxation music, write down your goals for the day, write 3 things you're grateful for, repeat positive affirmations. Create a routine that works for you and helps you stay calm. To summarize, here's how to implement a successful dopamine detox. Identify your biggest temptations and distractions, write them down and keep the list visible. Make unwanted behaviors harder by adding friction. Make desired behaviors easier by reducing friction. Implement a simple morning routine to calm your mind and start your day with low stimulation. Decide whether you want to do a 48-hour, 24-hour, or partial detox. Then identify the main sources of stimulation you'll eliminate. For the complete detoxes, try removing most or all sources of stimulation. Stay away from the internet, avoid TV, don't play video games, eat light meals without sugar or processed foods, turn off your phone. For the partial detox, remove your biggest source of distraction. One of the main goals of a dopamine detox is to lower your stimulation so you feel naturally motivated to work on important tasks. But the detox is just the beginning. Now we need to talk about maintaining that momentum. Plan your day. Being intentional with your day is one of the most effective ways to boost productivity. When you take time each day to decide what you want to accomplish, you dramatically reduce the risk of distraction.
Planning your day is important for several reasons. It gives you an opportunity to clarify which tasks are important and which aren't. It reduces the chances of your mind distracting you during the day. Because you know exactly what you need to do, you can move from one task to the next smoothly. You'll feel less stressed and more in control. Instead of reacting to your environment and letting it distract you, you'll move toward your goals proactively. You don't need fancy tools to plan your day. Just use pen and paper. Write down 3 to 5 key tasks you must accomplish today. Place them in order of importance. Then start working on your first task. When you complete it, move to the next. Repeat until you've finished your list. Make sure these are genuinely important tasks that move you forward. To identify them, ask yourself, if I could complete only one task today, which one would have the greatest impact? If you're still unsure, ask, if I could complete only one task today before taking a month off, what would it be? You'll probably notice that your most important tasks are often the ones you want to do least. Maybe they're challenging. Maybe you don't know where to start. Maybe they're boring. But your dopamine detox will make these tasks easier to tackle. You can use this same method to set weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly goals. The author also recommends creating a long-term vision, maybe a 5 or 10-year plan. It won't be perfect, but having a direction to follow makes a huge difference. While there are thousands of books on productivity, only a few principles really matter. The most important one? Identify your key task and tackle it first thing in the morning. Do this consistently. Even though you might have an endless to-do list, only a few major tasks really matter. These are the tasks that, when completed, will dramatically increase your productivity. Unless you complete them, nothing else matters much. The key to productivity can be summarized in 3 words. Focus, your ability to maintain concentration and avoid distraction while working. Consistency, developing the habit of working on key tasks every day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Impact, identifying your most important tasks and working on them as often as possible. Productivity, then, is having consistent focus on your most impactful tasks. Your ability to develop laser-sharp focus is one of the most important skills you can build. By focusing on your key tasks consistently for just 45 minutes daily, you can make more progress than with almost anything else you could do instead. Here are 5 specific steps to build your focus. 1. Be at the same place at the same time every day. A simple daily routine helps condition your mind, makes you feel more in control, and lowers your stimulation. As a result, starting work becomes easier. The famous writer Stephen King sits at his desk at the same time every day and writes. He doesn't wait for inspiration, he starts, knowing inspiration will come as he works. Do the same thing. Choose a time and place where you'll tackle your major tasks each day. Then practice doing it one day at a time. You'll gradually build consistency and focus. Where will you be when you do your most important work? When will you start?
2. Choose a trigger. As you create your routine, choose a specific trigger to start it. It could be making tea and sitting at your desk, or finishing your meditation session. Try to select a trigger that helps calm your mind. What activity could kickstart your daily routine? 3. Just get started. Once you've created your routine and identified your trigger, just begin. If you can start for even a few minutes, you'll likely build enough momentum to keep going. You might even enter a state of flow, that mental state where you're completely immersed in an activity and experiencing both focus and enjoyment. The more relaxed you are, the easier it is to focus. So just start. Don't worry about being perfect. Taking action will generate motivation and stimulate creativity. 4. Eliminate distractions. When you work, remove all distractions. Turn off phone notifications, disconnect from social media, stay away from the internet unless you need it for specific research. Ask others not to disturb you. The more you practice working distraction-free, the stronger your focus becomes. 5. Work without interruptions. Work continuously without interruptions. The author recommends 45 minutes of intense work as a maximum. If you want to do several sessions, take a 5 to 10 minute break between each block. Following these 5 steps will strengthen your focus and boost your productivity. And as you procrastinate less, you'll feel better, which positively impacts other areas of your life. There's one more critical concept to understand: the difference between open systems and closed systems. An open system provides you with a continuous, never-ending supply of external stimuli. Examples include email, Facebook, YouTube, and the internet in general. Whenever you enter an open system, you risk becoming overstimulated. If the first thing you do in the morning is check Facebook, you might find yourself scrolling your newsfeed endlessly, watching one video after another, or getting into long message conversations. Once you finally close Facebook, you're so stimulated that writing or doing important work feels impossibly hard. With open systems, there's no endpoint, there's no finish line. There's an almost infinite number of ways to get distracted. You can waste hours each day without even realizing it. Instead, you should design closed systems. These are systems that offer little or no room for distraction. They force you to work on your task and only your task. Examples include Excel spreadsheets, Word documents, or PowerPoint presentations. These days, the author opens the file for his current book before doing anything else on his computer. He avoids checking his phone. He starts his day with a closed system. When you begin your day with a closed system, you avoid overstimulation. This makes it much easier to work on challenging tasks. And as you do this each day, you'll feel better and want to work on even more tasks. Perhaps the biggest secret to overcoming procrastination is simply starting your day with a closed system. This way, you avoid countless distractions. Remember, what you do first thing in the morning matters far more than you think. One tiny decision can have a dramatic effect on your entire day's productivity. Congratulations! You've completed a dopamine detox, and now you feel much more relaxed and in control. But what's next? If you're not careful, you'll inevitably relapse. Old habits die hard, so let's talk about specific things you can do to avoid slipping back into constant overstimulation. 1. Be aware when you start relapsing. Self-awareness is the key to lasting change. The first step to avoid relapses is noticing when you're becoming overstimulated again. When you struggle to work on an important task, stop for a moment. Notice what's happening. Then recommit to your daily routine. You will probably relapse after a few days, weeks, or months. This is completely normal. The author himself goes through cycles, periods of hyperfocus followed by periods of restlessness and overstimulation. When it happens to you, accept it. Don't feel guilty. Beating yourself up won't help. It will only make things worse. Simply restart your routine and take it one day at a time. 2. Understand the battle between you and your mind. Your mind will constantly try to pull you back into overstimulation. It will tell you that checking your phone just this once is fine. It will convince you that you can watch just one video. It will rationalize every distraction. Understanding this battle is half the solution. When you recognize these thoughts as tricks your mind is playing, you can make better choices. 3. Understand that the world is against you. In today's world, maintaining focus is incredibly difficult. Everyone is competing for your attention, not just your family and friends, but marketers, YouTubers, bloggers, and every social media platform. Your focus is worth a lot of money to these companies. YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram do everything they can to keep you glued to your screen because that's how they make money. But here's the thing, your focus is also worth a lot of money to you. When you reclaim your focus and use it to achieve your biggest goals, you can transform your life. You can make more money by channeling your focus into great work. You can increase your well-being by redirecting it toward meaningful activities, like spending time with family or pursuing hobbies. The world is working against you. There will always be someone trying to grab your attention. So, you have two choices. Protect your focus by building habits and systems, or remain unprepared and let anyone distract you from what matters. Which will you choose? 4. Prepare a contingency plan. An effective way to avoid relapsing is creating a contingency plan. Think of all the ways you're likely to lose focus and revert to old behaviors, then guard against them. What could make you relapse? For the author, checking his phone first thing in the morning leads to jumping from one distraction to another. He checks Facebook, replies to messages, gets reminded of other things he needs to do. Suddenly, his mind becomes agitated and gives him dozens of good reasons not to write that morning. To create your contingency plan, consider all the activities with the highest potential for distraction. Revisit your can'ts list. Envision worst-case scenarios. What could lead you to lose focus and stop your morning routine? Write them all down. Prepare yourself mentally. Visualize yourself going through these scenarios. How will you react? How would you like to react? See yourself dealing with these situations in the best way possible. 5. Put a sustainable system in place. The key to lowering stimulation long-term is implementing a simple, sustainable system. This doesn't require complete isolation from all distractions, but it does require habits that help you stay focused. Make sure you have a simple daily routine you can stick to consistently. Cultivate the here and now neurotransmitters. To prevent overstimulation, cultivate what the author calls here and now neurotransmitters like endorphins, oxytocin, and serotonin. Unlike dopamine, which makes you anticipate and seek, these neurotransmitters make you feel calmer and more present. To activate these neurotransmitters, incorporate activities that ground you in the present. Meditation. Even a few minutes helps you practice being present. Close your eyes and focus on your breathing, or place attention on one of your 5 senses, then switch to another. There's no wrong way to meditate. Stretching. When you stretch, you automatically relax your body and slow your breathing, helping you feel calmer and more present. Mindfulness. This means being aware of what's happening inside and around you. Eat slowly while noticing flavors and textures. Place attention on your body and observe sensations from head to toe. Complete chores while trying to be as present as possible. Contemplative walking. How present are you when you walk? Do you hear birds singing? Feel wind on your face? Notice cloud shapes? Most people get stuck in their heads, thinking about tasks or worrying. Don't be like them. Next time you walk, observe things as if seeing them for the first time. Focus on each sense, see things you've never noticed, hear new sounds, smell new aromas, experience sensations you've overlooked. Be present. Deep social interactions. Interacting with people activates oxytocin, sometimes called the love hormone. The more present you are, the more you'll connect and experience bonding. Spend enough time with people you care about. Boredom. Practice doing nothing. It's a good way to lower stimulation. Our minds constantly want to do things. For a moment, be okay with doing nothing. Sit and observe. Eat in silence. Walk with no destination in mind. By incorporating these activities, you'll stay calmer and more present throughout your day. As a result, you'll reduce the risk of overstimulation. Commit to a 30-day challenge. To truly benefit from your dopamine detox, commit to implementing a simple daily routine for the next 30 days. See it as a challenge. This will help prevent you from reverting to old habits as soon as your detox ends. Build the foundations for long-term success, one day at a time.
So here we are, friend. We've covered a lot of ground together. You can choose to control your focus, or you can let someone else take it away from you. When you learn to avoid highly stimulating activities that destroy your ability to stay calm and focused, you'll find yourself capable of tackling your major tasks with more ease than ever before. Going through a dopamine detox will help you lower your stimulation and ensure you work on what matters most. Remember, excitement and fulfillment aren't the same things. As you learn to eliminate external stimulation and immerse yourself in your work, hobbies, and relationships, you'll experience a deeper sense of fulfillment. You'll feel much better. You'll become far more productive and accomplish many of your goals and dreams. So, stop letting your environment hijack your brain. Regain control instead. This is the key to a healthy, productive life. The world will always try to distract you. There will always be another notification, another video, another reason to delay your important work. But now you understand what's happening. You understand how dopamine works, how your attention is being hijacked, and what you can do about it. You don't need to be a victim of constant stimulation. You can design your environment to support focus instead of destroying it. You can build routines that calm your mind instead of agitating it. You can choose to work on what matters instead of what's easy or exciting. It won't be perfect. You'll relapse sometimes, but now you know what to do when that happens. You'll notice it, accept it without judgment, and simply restart your routine. The path forward is clear. Identify your biggest distractions, add friction to make them harder to access, start your day with a calm routine and closed systems, and commit to consistent focus on your most important tasks. Do this for 30 days, then 30 more. Before you know it, you'll have built the foundations for a life of focus, productivity, and genuine fulfillment. The choice is yours. The tools are in your hands. Now it's time to take action. Thanks for spending this time with me today. Now go out there and reclaim your focus. Your future self will thank you for it. Now, if you found this summary valuable, I strongly encourage you to get the full book. Here's why. What we've covered today is just the surface. Thibaut Meurisse has created a step-by-step workbook that accompanies this book, giving you practical tools to track your progress, identify your personal triggers, and build your customized dopamine detox plan. The book also includes deeper insights into the psychology behind procrastination and dozens of real-world examples that will resonate with your specific situation. If this video helped you understand your struggles with focus and gave you hope that change is possible, please hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more summaries like this one. Remember, knowledge without action is just entertainment. Get the book, do the work, and transform your life. You've got this.